What's going on, everybody? Josh Callaway alongside James Jackson at the stadium where Oklahoma absolutely rolled. Holy moly, James. 73-0 over Arkansas State on Saturday in the season opener. James, you and I and Tom and Colin, we all thought Oklahoma was going to win and win this game big, but you can't predict that. Complete demolition today. 73-0. Good Lord.
They blew all of our scores out of the water. I mean, everything we all thought, 49, 40, 52, somewhere around there. 73 points is outstanding. I mean, it's one of those games that it was almost completely flawless. I mean, they only had the punt on the last drive after Davis Bevel went down with the injury, still hoping he's all right. But overall, it was a flawless game, pretty much. I mean, all the way around. The defense got turnovers. You got a sack. Quarterbacks were throwing the ball deep down the field and was completing those passes. Run game looked good. I mean, overall, it was a great night for OU. I mean, pretty much just taking it all the way to Arkansas State, man. An incredible game, pretty much.
Yeah, but we were joking about it in the press box before we came down here. I mean, even the craziest, most lunatic OU fan probably doesn't have a lot to complain about. I mean, 73-0. Yeah, Arkansas State missed a couple field goals. Same idea. So they could have got on the board. There was a couple of coverage busts here and there. Brent Venables talked about that, but I mean, for the most part, this was a complete physical mismatch. How many guys got injured in this game for Arkansas State? It felt like half their roster went down in this game, and that's a product of one team being much more physical, much more fast, and just generally a better, more talented athletic football team than their opponent. So a dominant showing for Oklahoma. I think coming into this season, there's a lot of attention, obviously, on the defense. So let's start there. Shutout. I mean, Arkansas State's not any good. We talked about that. Everybody acknowledges that. But a shutout is a shutout. You keep a college football team from scoring all game. They never really sniffed a touchdown, obviously. That's impressive right there in and of itself, James. The fact that they went out and pitched a shutout to start the season. I mean, obviously, as a defense, you can't really get much better of a start than that.
Yeah, do they even get in the red zone? I mean, that's the thing. I think they got around the 25, but, I mean, overall, it didn't seem like they got there. So they had to kick the field goals from outside that mark. But that was a really good outing from the defense. I mean, Jared Kenneck said he talked about it a little bit after the game. It was like we didn't really have a chance to make flashy plays pretty much because we were just getting 3 and outs every single time. And you can't complain about that if you're a player or a fan or anything like that. I mean, that's the perfect thing for Sooner fans. I mean, 3 and outs is the best thing to do on the defensive side. So can't complain about this night. I mean, Kanai Walker got his fumble recovery. That was the one turnover for the defense. Just ripped the ball out of the receiver's hands as he was falling down. I mean, just those type of plays just shows you the physicality difference between both teams. I mean, just be able to do that and just take it out of a guy's hand. Just rip it out, Josh. I mean, do that next time you get out there, man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you were going to nitpick, the only thing you could possibly say that I could think of is the fact they only had 1 sack and 1 turnover. But, again, like you're saying, I mean, lots of 3 and outs. They couldn't really move the ball. You gave 0 points. So, I mean, it doesn't really – you'd like to see more, but as Brent Venables pointed out, they didn't really blitz a lot. They did a lot, Arkansas State, did a lot of quick passes trying to get rid of the ball. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you'd like to see more turnovers and sacks and stuff, but – it wasn't there in this game, and you pitch a shutout anyway. So, what's the worry there, I suppose? And, overall, I mean, there was some pops in this game, too. Reggie Pearson absolutely lighting him up on the sideline over there. That was a fun one.
Jeffrey Williams had his big hit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just all around it was a good game, at least for the defensive side. And as we move over to the offensive side, I mean, what can you say about that? 30 of 33 for both of these quarterbacks combined, which is, I think, is that the best overall performance from 2 quarterbacks in OU history? I mean,
got to be up there.
It's set the completion record for OU. So I mean, that's outstanding for them.
Yeah, offensively, like you said, I mean the defense. You pitch a shot, you can't do much better than that. Offensively, 73 points. They scored a touchdown on every single drive, or scored points, I should say, on every single drive that was quarterbacked by either Dylan Gabriel or Jackson Arnold. Had to settle for a field goal 1 time, right before the half there. I mean, just with ease, right down the field. Like you said, only 3 incompletions. Jackson Arnold was 11 for 11 in his reps. Receivers making plays everywhere right at the gate. Angelo Anthony makes that deep one down the seam. Jaden Gibson, circus catch in the corner of the end zone. Gavin Freeman returned a punt. I know it's not offense technically, but that guy's insane. If you hear about him all offseason, what does he do? First time he touched the ball, houses a punt. You got to be kidding me. The running backs was a little interesting because Gavin Sawchuk was held back. They actually did roll with Marcus Major and Tolly Walker for a while. It was, deep into this game before Javonte Barnes got a carry. Walker scored 2 touchdowns. Major got in there as well. Yeah, offensively, they made it look absolutely easy in this game. Like I said, every drive ended in points except for that one toward the end when they got Davis Bevel in there, and then obviously eventually General Booty after the injury. Kind of like the defense. I don't really have much to complain about. You score 73 points. You don't have much to say.
Yeah, and we talk about the receiver group. We were down on them before the season started. Then we got to talk to them and see them in practice. It was like, okay, maybe this group's going to be better than we thought. That was an outstanding performance from the wide receiver group. And you got to give Emmett Jones his props there. They looked really good. They've talked about going 6 or 7 deep, and it seemed like they did that, and all the guys produced for them today. You talked about Gavin Freeman. He also got a receiving touchdown as well to go along with his punt return. Jaquez Petaway was like Jackson Arnold's favorite target, in the second half there. So, pretty good, outstanding game from them all as well.
Yeah, no, Jaden Gibson had a funny quote in postgame where he said, he sees what people say, about him personally, and he was like, also about our receiving crew. We've seen all of it, all offseason. We've seen it all. That there's this big question mark about the receiving crew, and they made plays all over the place. Like you said, Petaway 9 grabs, Gibson a heck of a play, and God bless them, Arkansas State. Some of the most egregious pass interferences I've ever seen. And that's the only thing that kept Angela Anthony and Jalil Farouk from having more numbers than they had because, just tackling guys down the middle of the field. Angela Anthony almost caught that one, laying on his back almost. What a throw that was by Dylan Gabriel. Yeah, offensively, you don't really have much to complain about at all. And that's really the theme of the day for Oklahoma. The vibes were very high. Brent Venables, who's a guy who says all the time that you always can get better, there's always things to work on. He kind of sat up there in postgame was like, yeah, this went pretty well. He didn't really have a lot to say negatively. It was a complete domination effort for the Sooners today, 73-0. So they turn the page. They look ahead to SMU next week. 1-0 start, obviously. James, obviously, we'll get into the SMU game on the podcast this week and things like that. But just where you want to see Oklahoma go from here in terms of you put out this insane effort. Now you got to build on it and do it again. I guess a better opponent next week. Some early thoughts on what you're going to be looking for from Oklahoma this coming week and into the next game.
As we talked about with this, and we just wanted to see, not making mistakes on the field, not causing a lot of flags, and being able to take advantage of being the bigger team, being the better team. That's exactly what you want to see next week as well. OU is better than that team. On paper, they should be a lot better. So you expect a similar performance, maybe not 73 points to 0, but a similar type of blowout field, maybe covering the spread and things like that. That's what you want to see out of OU going into the next game.
Yeah. Oklahoma was a 36-point favorite in this game, and they covered that twice. 73-point win. Unbelievable. Like I said at the beginning, we all thought it was going to be a blowout. Nobody thought it was going to be that bad. Unbelievable showing from Oklahoma. Pretty close to a perfect game, really. In college football, that's about as close as it gets. Oklahoma, 1-0. They dominate Arkansas State. On to SMU next Saturday. Be sure to keep up with Sooners Illustrated, oklahoma.247sports.com. So much content there from Colin Kennedy, Tom Green, of course, James, myself over on the YouTube channel. Tons of post-game reaction from Brent Venables and various players. Dylan Gabriel, Jackson Arnold included in that as well. So you're going to be sure to keep up with us. Lots of post-game reaction and more to come in the coming days. And then obviously Monday, we're right back at it, getting ready for the next ball game. SMU in this building next Saturday evening. That's a 5 o'clock kick next Saturday. Looking forward to that one. So, for James Jackson, I'm Josh Callaway signing off for now from Norman, where Oklahoma went to 1-0 today with a 73-0 win over Arkansas State.